LAZARUS looked very, very, very strong today. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams match up.
Strength. Speed. Slayer, Hussam, these guys on Anubis, very strong, really, really good at this game right now, and all coming together as a unit really, really well yesterday. Excited to see what they have prepared for us today.
Yeah, it's not as much pressure today as there was the last time they played, when they needed to get a win to, put themselves in the driving seat. This time, they know they're through. They know what they need to do. Even if they lose, they're still coming back tomorrow. They just get to face a different opponent, and they're not going to know who that opponent is going to be. So coming out first in the group could actually be a minor issue if the stronger team ends up being second tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to get pretty interesting. Let's see a closer look at their numbers so far. Slayer has been carrying a lot for this team. As you see, Hussam is right behind him. They did have a good performance yesterday with the 2-0, although it was relatively close in terms of the rounds. They still got the job done.
Yeah, and Dipsy, we talked about being that player who just activates every now and then and gets something nutty. But LAZARUS, Loons, Vise, 40, then it's Jin. And to round off this team is Madison, recently added to the roster. And this is a team that we know all about. They've been here time and time again. I mean, just look in the background, you can see CFS memorabilia, all the pictures of their tournaments, and they've been around the world playing this game. So they know what they need to do, and they know what is on the line. They know that if they win this, they are going to be in the driving seat tomorrow.
Yeah, and that would be a really good feeling, especially if they could overcome Anubis here in this best of 3. This isn't just going to be, easy, fun times because you made it into semis. It's going to be kind of proving it to yourselves that you can beat a strong team. And, of course, the seeding that we already mentioned. And so LAZARUS able to get it done on port, which is pretty interesting. Vise and Jin putting it together for the biggest numbers.
Yeah, even Madison was that kind of player who would go ahead, go on his own, go on a little journey, nail a couple of people to the wall, and then bounce out. Like he was pretty strong earlier today.
Yeah, he certainly fulfilled his role very well as Slayer versus Vise. A couple of great riflers. Slayer extremely consistent, always there when you need him most, it feels like. So definitely a very strong player. If you did miss him from yesterday, make sure to tune in right now and see what he can get done. But we are ready for the map band pick, and we can see which maps we're going to be playing on as Black Widow band, Mexico band.
Okay, Ankara is going to be first, then Subbase, Eagle Eye Compound Band, and that leaves us with Port. So that's going to be an absolutely stellar map lineup. I feel like Subbase is a very interesting map when it comes to these two teams.
I'm just kind of surprised that Ankara was left through, but I guess Anubis were like, well, we're going to Ankara as well, and we just really don't want to play Mexico. So the first place match of Group B, the tie had not been broken in regular season. Who will be the final winner? As I guess they went 1-1 in the regular season, and this is the end of the best of 3.
Yeah, so who is your favorite to take this one based
Anubis.
on what we've seen so far? Anubis?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Be cautious, LAZARUS. I will spot you in my scope regardless of your hiding spots. We're a completely different team. We're coming for you, Anubis. So a message from each of the teams. Not as smack talky as the 3BL messages earlier. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams perform.
Very straightforward, you know. If I see you, I will shoot you. That is generally what you do in Crossfire.
I mean, that's kind of the whole objective of
that's
the match,
the
right?
point.
Yeah.
LAZARUS are like, we're great now.
It's all good, guys. We're
yeah, we don't
perfect.
care about you guys. We're just happy with our performances, which is very wholesome and great. And they did look good. They do deserve to have that very cheerful kind of attitude. Hopefully that can carry through this best of 3, because Anubis is a different beast, I would say. On nights, very strong, you know, making it to the finals. And, you know, they were able to show off that they're quite a strong team, but not quite playing to their best potential here, I would say, in the regional finals. And LAZARUS definitely outperforming them in that first series we did have today. So hopefully they can pull that through on one of their favorite maps of Ankara.
Yeah, so here we are. It is Ankara. It is going to be Dipsy, Slayer, Snare, Hussam, and Doom on the side of Anubis, and 40, Jin, Manison, Vise, and Loons on the side of LAZARUS.
Russ, okay. Well, sometimes that's the way it goes. And in Crossfire, they ran all 4 of them through the smoke and got torn to pieces by the Crossfire of LAZARUS. They were waiting for that. They were very ready. Anubis trying to send it early, and they got crushed.
Yeah, that was a blink and you will miss it opportunity, and unfortunately I was blinking during that time and didn't see what happened.
No.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Slayer goes down early to 40 here on that sniper. So Anubis are kind of a bit shook right now. They're not as solid as we were anticipating.
Yeah, start off, you know, maybe shake off the nerves, get a little bit ready, shake off the cobwebs. Yeah. Shake off the rust.
Yeah, you can't really shake off rust.
Shake it off.
Vise dropping out of the window and just tapping Dipsy down. This is going all LAZARUS' way. Now, you got to remember, LAZARUS are more warmed up than Anubis would be because LAZARUS has already played today. And a team like LAZARUS doesn't suffer from the endurance that a couple of the other teams would suffer from because they've been here many, many times.
Yeah. Nice little pick off by Doom onto Vise. Definitely one of the stronger players today for LAZARUS. So get him out of the map. And let's see where Anubis decide to go for here. I mean, 40 is pretty low. Could potentially try to rush into B. They are gearing up in the office right now.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the plan of action as they are making their way through the office and they're going to start piling in. Will 40 read this correctly? He's looking the wrong direction now, but he's going to turn around and he does see them. Does get one, but does get taken down by Doom. So Snare is off the table. And here's Hussam. Manison is trying to hold this as best he can, waiting for the wraparound. Loons is lurking in the corner, and Anubis is just going to rotate over towards that A side. And you can see that LAZARUS are not expecting this rotation. They're still planted very, very firmly on that B site.
Yeah, now getting a little bit caught in rotation, a bit of damage done. But Jin is right here, and he will be ready. There's not a lot of time for this bomb to be planted. Let's see if Anubis can get that down. As Doom is in here, looks like LAZARUS is going to go for the retake. No turret, no reason to rush, as they will take down Doom.
Yeah, that was very, very quick for Jin. As soon as the bomb went down, he was tap, 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 and it was all over. And Hussam caught sleeping up the ramp there, instantly taken out. And that is another LAZARUS win.
Yeah, very nicely done. Just slow and steady for them. 40, a couple of big snipes. Certainly pulling his weight on that round. Whereas on the side of Anubis, only 2 kills total, looks like. Maybe a little bit extra on a Slayer who has reloaded. And Anubis, let's see if they can get some thing going here. As Dipsy nicely done through the smoke, expecting him there on the right. Now some good utility right up there into LAZARUS.
Yeah, but 40 does take Dipsy down, but Jin eats a whole lot of damage. He's very, very low. Loons is down. Snare takes him out, but 40 takes down Snare. So 1-for-1 trade there, and it's 3 against 3, even if Jin only has about 2 hit points remaining. Oof. Slayer walks up the stairs, taps out 40, and he's going to continue this pressure onto the B side. The bomb is going to get planted. It is a 3v2 situation. Slayer, Hussam, and Doom are still going. Vise is walking around the map. He might actually catch Doom completely unaware through these offices if Doom is not careful. No, Doom's now peeking in and out, doing the dance. as Jin is looking to rotate from A. And pincer movement in here as Vice is going to tap down one. Can he tap down two? No, he cannot. And Jin tripped over his own shoelaces and fell to his death. Anubis Gaming finally get one on the board.
Yeah, nicely done. Able to get in much more safely onto that B site. Just straight up mid into the underpassage, and a couple of pickoffs on their way. Gets them nice and easy access in there. But now Jin picking up the AWM. Going to take out Snare, who has had a sleepy start here. Not as aggressive as he normally is. Just getting sniped out here and there.
Yeah, there's a sniper option here, but Lazarus paying off dividends at the beginning. Dipsy actually eats a ton of damage, and look at this. They're going to just try and rush through this corridor, but Vice is there. He gets the double with the spray transfer. Make it a triple after switching back to his rifle, and it is a 4 versus 1. Slayer has to pull something out of the bag. The C4 is in no man's land. Madison is waiting very, very patiently. Slayer has it all to do, but he does have a lot of time to play with, as he will be able to slowly creep over back towards the C4. He's going to find Madison there, does tag his arm, and then retreats back, making sure no one comes from behind, and that's exactly what is going to happen as 40 is just around this corner. 40's there, and oh my goodness, Slayer is kind of trapped, doesn't know where to go, and Lazarus take a 3rd round.
Yeah, Vice, something has gotten into this player. He's always been good, but for some reason here at the regional finals, he's just having a really big pop-off performance over the course of these 2 series so far. As now, here he goes again, trying to read the pressure. And he's going to get shot down by Slayer. And the push does come into office pretty nicely. Loons and 40 coming on in, but Snare very aggressively, quick scopes down his opposing sniper.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty by Anubis. A lot of damage done on the side of Lazarus as well, so they're going to have to 2v1 this. Jin all alone against Dipsy and Snare. We know what Dipsy can do when he decides to turn it on. Jin's going to dance around the containers. Who's he going to face first? Is it going to be Snare? Is it going to be Dipsy? They're playing very patiently. They know he has all the work to do. They know Jin has to do everything here. Oh, Snare goes down. Jin double kill and the C4 defuse. Nicely danced around those boxes. Whatever Lazarus ate for lunch, they need to eat again, because they are playing out of their skins right now.
Yeah, 4-1. I mean, they look like the heavily dominant team at this point in time. Anubis, you know, not even playing that poorly, I have to say. Like, they've had some decent looks. It's just been all about Lazarus playing really, really good crossfire and just being the better team. And that's saying a lot at this point in time, given their opponent. Vi is extremely confident right now. You can just tell the way he's playing, how aggressive he's getting, and well, he's going to get shot down once again by Slayer in a very similar spot.
Yeah, just a little bit too far forward. All alone as well. Vice was not supported by anyone, so that is a very cheap loss on the side of Lazarus. Now, what are they going to do? They are currently 2-1-1. 1 left in the spawn, 1 on B, 2 on A, making sure that that is nicely held, because A can be tricky to retake, whereas B is slightly easier, because there are so many routes into B when you are on the global risk side. But for A, you really only have that A passage, and it is very easy just to smoke it out, flash it out, and keep it nice and closed, as 40 is under pressure here. He's taking a couple shots around the walls where he's hiding, and I don't think he realized where that was coming from. And Madison is one man against a whole team. He's got to try to get something done. He was cooking the grenade, and Doom popped him through the box with a headshot. And that's looking bad. There are 3 members of Lazarus remaining against all 5 of Anubis, and the C4 is down.
Yeah, nice plant here, Anubis. Very aggressive into that B site. 40's looking for an angle over the top, but Anubis are not giving him anything. They're just going to have to rush onto the site here, but so many crossfires from the side of Anubis, and they're just covering every single angle. Easy spray for all of them through that smoke, as there wasn't much more that Lazarus could do on that retake.
Yeah, nothing at all. So Lazarus, they're they're playing very, very strong, but they do keep losing some cheap kills. Whenever they lose a round, it's because someone like Vise is a little bit too aggressive, gets stuck in no man's land, and is instantly taken off the board. And Anubis just continue that pressure, right? They just capitalize on their one-man advantage and just roll the rest of the map. We do see them looking towards A, coming through the air duct. It's not covered yet, so Snare maybe just going to relocate to the door. He just wants to get a kill. I think they just want to try and get an advantage and then maybe regroup, but they're not going to get it as Slayer goes down to 40.
Yeah, at that point, I mean, 3 rounds in a row, they kind of know that Slayer's playing kind of that lone wolf, pushing into office kind of style. You just set up a sniper there in a very aggressive spot. You get a nice little pick off, and they'll take that bonus to the bank and just sit back on their hind heels and not get over aggressive from here.
So where are we going now? Oof. I think that was, yeah, Snare was kind of in no man's land. He was up in the spawn point of the Global Risk side, and as he was retreating, did get completely shut out. And now it is 5 against 3. So Hussam, Doom, and Dipsy, they have it all to do. They're going to come and creep up through here, through the yard, underneath the yard, I should say. And Vise was there, but he couldn't nail anything down. Grenades come in, and that's quite a bit of damage coming in from those grenades. They're going to smoke and flash, just try to nullify before he gets to Sam. Madison doesn't care about being flashed. He gets Dipsy off the board, and Doom, last man standing, is going to get completely collapsed in on, and Loons does pick up the kill, and that's another win going the way of Lazarus.
Yeah, Vise, once again, you know, he's really feeling himself. He's confident, but perhaps a bit overconfident. He keeps going for these big, aggressive peaks, but they're not really working because, you know, he's going up against guys like Slayer, like Doom, who will punish that immediately. Quick flicks straight to the head that don't really allow him to play the video game. So, you know, he's got a lot of utility. He's got a lot of backup. Obviously, Lazarus are playing to a very high level. He's getting pretty excited, but, you know, just play your game, and you're beating Anubis right now. This is very strong play so far from Lazarus, as Sam is going to take out 40 somewhere in the middle of the map.
Yeah, right on the spawn of the Global Risk is where he fell. So, yeah, Hussam is in a great position here just to keep eyes on things. Vise is actually maybe going to have to walk through that same location as well. And Hussam will be looking to get a repeat of what he just did. As the rest of Anubis, they're going through the offices, and they're going to go push up onto B. Vise is one man in that spot. He's going for a look. He actually catches Hussam completely oblivious to that movement.
Yeah, and he knows that, okay, there's one guy just creeping through underpass. There's got to be more coming in through office. And he was correct, but Dipsy will not be stopped as he picks up 2, and Slayer's right there to help him out. It's only Madison who has to run all the way over here, 1v4, not looking good for him as the bomb will be planted.
Yeah, he's got it all to do. Last man standing. He only has one utility left in his pocket. He's not going to be able to use it. He's going to have to keep that gun out, because if he swaps, that will happen. Snare from the back nails it down, and that's another win. This time going to Anubis, and this is very, very close. It is 5-3, but Anubis are looking very, very good.
Yeah, certainly in that last round, putting it together in a big way. You can see some of the ways they get that going. 40 just looking the wrong way. Doom picks up a free kill. He's been good for those early in these rounds. And on these entries, Slayer gets the jump on Vise, who, you know, he's been not winning that 1v1 many times, Vise, unfortunately for him. Madison is able to back him up, understanding that Slayer, the kind of guy who is going to run on in and look for a bit more value. And he will trade it back at least.
Yeah, and it does look as though B is going to be the target once more. The office is the entry point here for Anubis. So they're going to push up that ramp. And Madison is in the middle of no man's land, but he might actually catch Doom, who's going to try to rotate through that central area. Doom's coming in. Madison actually turns around. Madison, oh, Doom just had the feeling he was there. Pre-fires around the corner, catches the head. C4 goes down, and it's Loons and Jin, last two remaining.
A couple of side shots there, but this is a really tough ask for them. Anubis on a big tear now, as once again they got to push through the smoke, but there's just so many members that are looking straight at you. This is not an easy retake. Jin trying to lead the charge here. Takes a ton of damage. Snare with the snipe right at the end, and Loons picks up one, but does go down. So 4-5. Pretty close first half here. Although Anubis did start off pretty slowly, I have to say.
Yeah, it's amazing how much closer 5-4 looks than 6-3. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
a difference of 1 compared to a difference of 3.
Yeah, it's a very different feeling as you go into the half. I mean, Lazarus were good for it at the beginning. They did slowly let the wheels fall off as Madison is looking to punish Snare's aggressive position, jumps around with the pistol, nails it, but Hussam is good to clean him up. So 1-for-1 trade there right off the bat, and that is a go sign as everyone is rushing A. Slayer needs to try and get back, cannot, as Jin nails him on the retreat. And Anubis kind of a bit lost here. They gave up A very, very easily, and the C4 is eventually going to go down, but they have so much time that they're not going to need it. 40 is carrying the sniper in this one. Sorry, the shotty. So, yeah, it's an interesting strategy here by Lazarus. Loons starts poking out, does pay the price. Price actually gets tagged real hard there. He's very, very low. The C4 is down. 20 seconds are remaining as Loons and Jin, they pick up a kill on Doom and Dipsy. Hussam needs to try and get something done. He has very little time remaining. He's got to make his way through the air duct against Jin, who is sitting at the top, but Loons underneath cleared his corners correctly, and that is a win for Lazarus.
Yeah, just typical Lazarus style today on the Blacklist side, just pushing the envelope, going in as fast as they can. The entries are clean, and even if you do expect it, it just feels like everybody's on the same page. There's no doubt in their minds. They're all pressing that W button. They're moving forward, and they might just go for it again. I mean, over-the-top aids into A push is a classic because it's very strong. So just do it. And Slayer, I think he's just going to be playing points here. A lot of information given by the team elsewhere on the map.
Well, Lazarus are going to make this A push work again. And once again, it is very cheap, but Slayer is making it an expensive push for Lazarus. One man holding against the team. He picks up a double kill, but Madison finally does get him off the board. 40 does take Snare, but Hussam gets Madison down. And Dipsy, I think he was tagged and then fell, and unfortunately does go down. Hussam gets 40, so Loons has to do it against Hussam and Doom. Picks up the gun, starts reloading. Where is he gonna go? The C4 is kind of trapped on those stairs, so that's gonna be a hard retake for Loons. He's gonna have to push into A, and I think his goal right now is to finish this with kills and not with that C4. He's gonna look for B first, and then rotate through that central passageway, which is being covered by Anubis.
Yeah, he's just running around the map, seeing if anyone, you know, was on a little excursion. He's going to cover every corner just to make sure he's not flanked. And then he will have to inevitably push, of course, to where the bomb is. As both teams know that. And they spot Loons, they know where he's at, and now they can double team on this angle.
Yeah, and Loons just wasn't up for that one. Anubis pull one back, and it's 6-5. This is a back and forth match again today. We've had some close games so far. This one looks to be another nail biter between two teams who are just vying for seeding in tomorrow's games.
Yeah, it's definitely a big deal. Trying to get as high a seeding as possible. Give yourself the best chance of making it into the finals. Well,
40 was caught sleeping there, didn't check his corners. Snare just patiently waited for it. I thought they were on the same team for a second. Like, it didn't quite register in my head either. Jin caught out, jumping around the corner. Snare on top of things right now as Doom takes Vice, Doom takes Loons through the wall, and Hussam cleans up Madison, and that was a very, very clean round for Anubis.
Yeah, not much to it. I mean, you get a couple of picks from Snare over by quarters, and just like that, it's 3-5, right? If the sniper's going to get aggressive, like Snare will oftentimes do. Speaking of which, he's here again. Let's see. I mean, there's two snipers, actually, as Snare is going to lose the fight this time, 40 expecting it.
Yeah, so where Slayer is the only sniper remaining on his team. 40 just giving the peeks, seeing if he can get any information, see if he can find an easy shot. Slayer tries to shoot through the smoke, doesn't connect. Yes, he does connect with that one. Excellent headshot onto Slayer there. And that's just nullified the long-range potential. Jin, let's do what he can, is tagging. Doom gets the assist on Hussam. Hussam gets the kill. Dipsy gets a kill as well. But Dipsy goes down to Madison as Doom does finish it with a wallbang. And it's 2 against 2. 40 and Loons fully geared up. Hussam and Doom, though, they are struggling. They're suffering. They are very, very low. And they need to get this done. They're going to have to walk through that A passageway all the way over. And I think LAZARUS has this one.
Yeah, I mean, they have control of the site. You got to push in. There's probably at least a little bit utility left here for LAZARUS. And they've got time, too. So pretty much everything is on their side. They could even elect to try to rotate into B. They're not going to take that risk. I feel like that's probably a good idea. No real reason to go for that. And they have double smokes, too, so they just throw those down. And 40 has poked his head out here. Bit risky.
And he pays the price for it. Hussam clears him out. Now it's a 2v1, and suddenly this isn't looking so good for LAZARUS. They were in a strong position before, but they gave away a cheap kill again. Loons has expended all his utility. He did have everything, and I think Doom caught sight of Loons. Loons definitely caught sight, but Loons is good for it. He gets the double kill, and yeah, that is a win for LAZARUS.
Yeah, it's got to feel pretty comfortable there at the end. Although 40 did get picked off, just the communication coming through that everybody's quite low. As here comes Anubis, maybe a bit aggressive out of quarters. You have 4 people looking to push out into connector, and LAZARUS is just going to accept that and maybe move into B, as they're being chased down here just a bit.
Doom and Loon are right next to each other. Madison does get the kill, so that's cheap kill again. This time Anubis giving it up, and LAZARUS are completely full. They've expended a bit of utility, but every single one of them is very healthy. And they do retreat back. They do push back, Anubis into their own base as LAZARUS take some nice positions just to get that information, some nice corners, some nice angles to see if they can pick up anything else on the cheap from Anubis.
Yeah, LAZARUS taking it pretty slow. Just waiting on this one. Still have the C4 back in the spawn, as Vice just holding on to that. And not much given on the cheap. Anubis just sitting back on their hind heels. They've taken control of outside of quarters. They know that there hasn't been a big rotation just yet. Even Dipsy taking a look at front yard just in case they push in through mid. Just very ready for any kind of push here from the side of Anubis as well. And all 5 members of LAZARUS are in the office right now.
Yeah, and Slayer is hugging this wall right now. And LAZARUS, if they commit, they might. If they don't check this corner, Slayer is going to have the time of his life. They did check the corner. He still got one, but Vice did clear him up. Madison is down on the side of LAZARUS as 40 picks up Hussam, and they continue the pressure. Dipsy gets a kill on Jin as 40 gets Dipsy down. Snare, last man standing. Vice, Loons, and 40 on the side of LAZARUS. Snare holding on for dear life onto this bomb site. Can he do it? No, he can't, as Loons wraps around, cleans it up, and Lazarus take another win. And after 14 rounds, it is 8-6.
Yeah, pretty comfortable one there from Lazarus. I like how they just waited. You know, they're using their time, but they're not using it too much. They're not trying to push with like 20 seconds left, right? Giving the opportunity to Anubis to maybe run out the clock. It's just very calculated, as Lazarus looked like the better team, but Snare is going to get that early pickoff onto Jin. And those aggressive plays, you know, Snare is finally getting into the lobby and making himself very well known.
Yeah, through the smoke as well, and that's a real nice grenade as Madison does go down to Snare. Nice shot there into the shoulder, and that's enough for a sniper to take the kill. So it's 3 against 5, and Lazarus giving it away again here. They're going to have to try and make something work. Slayer's hugging the corner. 40's going to try to wrap around through the duct with the sniper making sure. Oh! Drop the shot. Slayer's coming back for more. He's going to try to push up here. He knows 40's around the corner. Throws the grenade. He's now going to push up. Nope. Does retreat just in time.
Playing with fire there. But understandably, 5v3. Trying to get some value, but he's going to get sniped out. Hussam does take down Vise. He's trying to push in the front door. Up comes 40, not expecting Hussam to reposition to exactly their Loons, trying to shoot 2 people at the same time. That's not quite the way it works. So Anubis is going to finally get back on the board here and keep things close, 8-7.
Yeah, nothing separates these two teams going into round 16. And where are we going to be looking? It looks as though they're going to pressure into A again. And maybe then rotate over to B, but oh, Jin grabs Snare, and that is an excellent shot. The angle was tight, the distance was long, but still managed to get that one done. And I think it was a headshot as well. I didn't quite catch it, but yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It was one shot, so yeah, definitely. It was a nice little headshot there as Madison is going to start walking through the duct. Is going to have the utilities to push anyone who would be lying at the bottom of it out and away. And that is Slayer. Slayer turns around the corner. He does get Madison, but Vice does take out Slayer. Sam gets Loons, who Sam was trying to hold this top area on his own, but Vice is good as he breaches up those stairs and just clears things out. It's a 3v2. Vice, Jin, and 40 against Dipsy and Doom.
They knew that Vice was pretty low. They're trying to catch him as he's planting that with the nade. Doesn't quite work out. Vice stays alive. This time the push much cleaner. Jin picks up another one. It's going to shut down Doom. And Dipsy, is this his Dipsy moment? Let's see, 1v3. Can he pull it off? Everybody's holding a very passive angle here. 40 is going to miss the shot. It's just not really enough time to check every angle and take them all down and defuse. So 9-7 as Lazarus are on the doorstep of taking the first map.
Yeah, and they've made it look clean. Not easy because this is very back and forth, but whenever either team wins it always seems to be a very clean victory. You never see the 1v2s, 1v3s in this map so far as Jin gets Dipsy off the board. Look at this, nicely done by Doom there. Gets one and tags. Oh, he didn't actually tag Loons. I thought he tagged him, but Loons does clear that up, and grenades flying in to this B site as 40 goes down to Slayer as Madison takes out Sam. Snare gets Madison, and Snare closes it off with a double kill. And Anubis pull one back.
It's getting pretty interesting now. It's been a close map up until this point, but Anubis might even force extra rounds here. Snare, definitely a big, big round to him. Snare actually took a little bit of damage there himself. Not quite able to land the snipe onto Jin. And I think Lazarus, this time they're going to slow things down. They've been playing that aggressive game really well so far on this map, but now with extra rounds on the line, they want to take it a little bit slower.
Yeah, they're going to just slowly try to say this. Madison gets tagged, but 40 does take Slayer down. That's a big kill to start us off with. And that gives Lazarus the advantage. And it seems to be the go sign because they're now bum rushing this A side as Vice gets Sam on the entry. And Snare trying to do what he can, but cannot do much as Vice closes him down. Vice also now looking towards that corridor. Doom does get one. He does take 40 down. Vice runs down these stairs, grenades across, doesn't connect, but puts the pressure on Dipsy. Oh, Vice beats up again, and Lazarus, they take the win. And that was a spectacular map of Crossfire.
Oh, absolutely. Very, very close between these two teams, but once again, Lazarus showcasing what they can do on Ankara, especially from the Blacklist side, looking really impressive there, especially towards the end. As, you know, it was a close one. You see Vines who's slowly nodding his head. He's like, okay, okay. You know, wasn't a blowout from us. It wasn't, you know, the super happy grinning Vines, but a win's a win. And I think you'll definitely take those from Lazarus, especially with this performance against this kind of strong team.
Vice has a lot of moments where he just popped off, but he was nullified quite a bit in the middle of that map. He was, you know, pushed out. He would often be the first kill because he got a little bit too far forward. And the rest of his team, though, they were good enough to, you know, clean that up. They were good enough to, you know, continue to push and to pressure Anubis and put them on the back foot. And it worked out for them. Anubis showed a really, really good Ankara. It just wasn't enough to pip Lazarus this time round.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so comfortable on this map. Many times Lazarus went for certain plays, and they're like, you know, we can do this better, actually. Let's just run it back. And they would run it back, and it would look so much better the second time. And it just showcases how much experience they have and how comfortable they are on this map. They're like, okay, we get it. You know, we understand exactly like what went wrong. Let's just fix that one little thing, and we'll do this push that we've done many times successfully once again. And the runbacks definitely worked pretty well. Generally, a big focus on the A site. A lot of quarters action as well between these two. Lazarus barely getting across the line there. Loons and Jin were the last two alive, and Loons did get that kill.
Yeah, and looking at the stats, everyone on the side of Lazarus, minus Madison, we're above that 1.0 KD spread. And not quite a similar story on the other side. Dipsy 0.62, Slayer 0.92, but the others were above it. So very, very close. Madison just this time round not